You may not need this podcast, but you are in the right place. And this is a special episode recorded in the wild. I'm your host, Ben McDougal, with my AI companion and co-host, BenBot. While this episode will sound a bit different than when we're in studio, no, it was brewed from within the entrepreneurial ecosystem as we continue learning with students, entrepreneurs, intrapreneurs, and community builders. If you're a curious leader thirsty enough to make a ruckus, welcome to another caffeinated conversation brewed to keep you building. Enjoy. And welcome to Minnesota. We are in the wild. I've got Jim Morgan in his studio. This is a crazy story, my friends. So I'm up in Minnesota, and today we're going to talk about sound engineering, pursuing a career in the music industry, going from behind the camera to in front of the camera, creating a song every day. So ahead, Jim, I want to hear a quick introduction for our listeners.
Yeah.
Why don't we start there, and then I'll kind of catch people up on how we came to sit here in this moment. Thank you for hosting, and let's have some fun.
Ben, thank you for having me on. This is unexpectedly amazing.
I mean, we planned this for weeks and months and years, right?
Yeah. It's been a long time coming. Like, I remember when we were watching the extended version of Lord of the Rings 1, we were talking about this over some popcorn, and here we are.
We were. And truth be told, it was about 20, 30 minutes ago that we decided to just put this together and jam on the mic.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, let's hear a little bit about how you spend your time.
Sure. Every day we try to make a new piece of music, and it is, I got to tell you, man, it is like the best vibe. I guess that's how I spend my day. I spend my day like the first half of the day. Honestly, spend the first half of my day working at the studio, trying to keep the lights on, keep everything rolling, all the projects that we have going on here. And then the last half of the day, for at least 2 or 3 hours, we reserve for writing a new piece of music.
Dude, I want to talk about that because one of my favorite writers and thinkers is Seth Godin. He talks about shipping your art every day. And I think in that context, it's usually writing related. But you're putting tunes together, dropping tracks every day. We kind of multi-track record. Everyone's invited. We do it in the spirit of a brainstorm, right? So there's no wrong answer. Wow.
We don't shut anybody down. We just try to keep it, and we try to reduce the resistance to creativity as much as possible, technically and creatively.
How long is each piece? And I'm going to take off these Avenger glasses now, but this was, of course, a fun way to introduce our time.
Yeah, that was very good. I feel like now we can join the X-Men or something, just so they don't get put off by, yeah.
But so how long? I mean, it doesn't matter though, right? I mean, I'm guessing it can be short, but it might be an afternoon long song. I don't know. No,
that's very good. Sometimes we go live sometimes, and we'll play live so you can kind of hear it go from nothing to a small loop that eventually turns into, everyone contributes to it, and because we're all attached to the same beats per minute. We have the same, so we're using Ableton Live, and they have a link option, so you can link multiple rigs together. So we have 5 recording rigs, one that's on a drum kit, one that is for my dad uses, he plays bass, and he'll do, and like, even, man, he's gotten into like MIDI programming, like he'll like type, bust in with some piano licks, like if there's no drums yet, and he's like, he's got a bass line down, he's like, I'm gonna do the drums, he'll program on like little pads, or MIDI triggered like little rubber dudes, or you can come out here and get on the drum kit and just bust out a drum beat, and you could go piece by piece, right? You could go like just the kick and the snare at first, and be like, okay, cool, because I'm not a professional drummer at all, but I absolutely can go. If you can go one drum at a time, you can kind of figure it out,
Wow. Well, and Ted stopped by to help us impromptu put things together. You've been on the tour, on the road, in the van since age 2. I mean, to ask a question of how has music inspired your life would be way too loaded of a thought, but what comes to mind when I say such a thing?
Yeah, well, back then, my dad was doing live sound reinforcement for a few bands, and he brought the family on the road, so I was sleeping in the kick drum, but that turned out all right.
You were sleeping in the kick drum.
Yeah, man, that's how it goes.
Fantastic.
I will wake up the band at night, man. I know at one time they introduced the band, got up on stage, introduced themselves as Jim or Joe and the Early Risers, because they were pissed. that I was screaming. I was a baby.
You were too.
But yeah, I was a
wow.
little dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, my dad is a big part of the business. He's here. We do all of so it's Conduit Sound plus stage, and it's a soundstage, only soundstage in Minnesota, aside from Paisley Park. Unfortunately, Paisley Park is more of like a museum, Prince's recording castle, and but now, I hope they open it back up to. I'm sure they're recording something there, which is beautiful. But anyway, that's kind of our claim to fame here. There's several other studios you could record at around, but none that have this particular like audio video combo, and none that are treated acoustically to be like what I would
This
say.
is the largest quiet space in Minneapolis.
100%. I think there's like an anechoic chamber somewhere, but that's just creepy, man. That's too quiet.
Can't call it a chamber.
No, I won't call it a chamber.
But what a beautiful environment. I came over here after attending 1 Million Cups over in Eden Prairie, and
cool.
we've got the Entrepreneurs Rally with Entrepreneurs Organization tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And so this was super impromptu, and I'm looking for okay, maybe there's some folks that might be an interesting addition to this collection of episodes on You Don't Need This podcast. And so I was given your name and would come over here, and oh my goodness, I could record an audiobook over there. We could do a huge concert right here.
Yeah.
There's so many little pods of interesting areas. It was almost challenging to choose where we were going to sit. So what a nice offering that you can provide musicians and different types of artists.
Right, yeah, they can come in and we can help them develop their tracks, produce their music, just jump into the songwriting. And if, say they have been programming their own music alone on their computer, they may be able to come here and be like, hey, instead of, a saxophone being triggered by MIDI, let's get a real saxophone player in and record it, and we do a lot of score work too. So when it's something it's nice to be able to tell a director or a producer, like, hey, if you want to be hands-on in the score, come into this room with us. We're going to fire up the whole symphony machine.
Wow. And you hear that beat? That's me hammering on the beat.
One drum at a time. Oh, my God.
What's your favorite part of being a part of other people's musical journey?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like everyone, even if we were all playing the same song, and we were all using the same chords, which actually a lot of songs are the same chords. But if like, for instance, if you sang that song and I sang that song, even if they were the exact same lyrics and the exact same chords, that's going to be two different songs, in my opinion. Like, that's going to be completely unique. And I feel like we all have an extremely unique voice that you literally, what you can do, no one can find anywhere else on the planet, which in the universe.
It is hard competing with you.
Yeah. What? Oh, no. I'm just...
No, I'm saying being
as
you. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't. Like, you're unique, beautiful, your creative ideas are beautiful, and they should be honored. And I want to ride out and meet the biggest creative version of yourself as my biggest creative version of myself. And let's just make something the universe has never seen before.
Man, this is super fun. I hope you're enjoying this, my friends. As I shared, this was super serendipitous. We spent some time actually putting a set together. So if you check out the video version of this episode, it's going to be a little extra special. And really enjoying our time in Minnesota. When you think about the entrepreneurial ecosystem, I know this is a little bit unprompted, but how do you feel like entrepreneurs, fellow creatives, and artists who are shipping things they truly care about, what's like the collaborative vibe in Minnesota?
Oh, yeah. Well, there are a few artists that I think everyone is just, in Minnesota, it just seems to me like if anyone could play anywhere, anytime, all hands are up. They're like, we'll do it. I mean, there are definitely like folks who are beyond that, or I don't know, that would
just
might
quick
be
to
a waste
jump
of their
in
time.
though.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like any artist because we do, we're attached to a brewery. We're attached to 56 Brewing.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, you can go right into the brewery. We have a kegerator.
This place keeps getting better. I'll be here all day. I had plans, but cancel those.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And there's and the couch is comfy. So
we're just gonna record like 5 special episodes together.
I would love that. I love that. And then we could make the music for it.
Oh my goodness. I
don't know.
What's your favorite instrument?
Well,
is it the harp that we decided not to put behind us?
I know. We had the harp.
That thing was so heavenly.
It was very busy looking. It was heavenly, and it turns out that heaven is very cluttered with musical instruments that the angels are playing. No.
Oh, hold on. I got tools here.
Yeah. No worries. Oh! chocolate covered raisins. Oh, you hold them down. Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't have toys at my disposal like this every day, so I had to at least push a few buttons. I didn't know which was going to happen when I pushed effect, but it was good.
Well, that one, yeah, if you hold it down, it goes into like a monster voice.
Oh, my gosh. Hold on.
Yeah.
Covered raisins. Welcome to You Don't Need This podcast. The truth is that you do need it.
Turns out.
Why does my voice still sound like this?
Wait a second. This is so fun.
I'd say guitar, like to answer your question.
Yeah.
I play guitar and sing, and that's probably like by default but my favorite thing is to take like a bow, like a violin bow or a cello bow, and just rosin it up and just attack every instrument I can find with it. Even stuff that isn't an instrument. Like if I could
just string to anything.
And like one of the funnest musical experiences I've had was taking out the inside of a piano, attaching it to the wall. So the inside of the piano is all of the mallets and all of the strings are revealed, and then just hitting it with all kinds of different stuff. Mallets, silverware, your shoe, whatever. Like or screaming into it. If you scream or sing into the belly of a piano that has been taken out, it's awesome. It's just, I love that. I really love the edge of music and the edge of sound.
I mean, with some of these daily drops, it's like what was used might be an interesting data point.
It could be. That's why we were going live for a bit there. But we slowed down, but we're going to get back on the horse.
So how have you been able to ship that art? I mean, you're creating mountains of media. Has it been challenging to like keep it organized, keep it consistently being released, making sure that there's an audience for it? Like you're doing the creation side. What about the delivery and the connection side?
Bet, yeah, 500%. It is super hard. It's the system we've built is really intricate. Like, so we all loop independently. So everyone, if you can imagine, it kind of goes like this. Like we all pick our favorite instrument. And this will go into the data, I promise. We all pick our favorite instrument or whatever instrument we want to noodle with that day. And then we all start playing together until we find the thing, right? We're like, oh, man, you taking the drumsticks to the piano, that's cool. But listen to we have a fully operational Rhodes piano keyboard in there, which is just fantastic. It's immediately you go to the land of make believe, and one of us, and then my dad might be on bass, I might have a guitar, and maybe I start to hum something, and then my dad starts to play bass to it, and then we're like, yeah, that, and then so he puts the bass line down, and then everyone in their own individual desk, really, and you can throw in headphones, or we can work in speakers, we can work in different rooms. We all end up basically. If he's making a bass line that's interesting, then the drummer's like, oh, I like that. And then the drummer starts working. And then while my dad might be putting a second bass line down or augmenting it, and while the drummer's working as a guitar player, I might be like, oh, I'm going to do some finger picking to this. And then someone else might be like, yo, I have a harmony that would sound awesome with this. And they're singing it into there. So it's almost like you can have up to 10 people create musicians or not, people who just are like sound designers, just want to experiment. And like kids are great at it, because they're fearless,
impromptu, curious, showing some initiative.
Wonderment.
I love that.
That's the key ingredient.
Dude, pure wonder. Paired with serendipity. Ooh, that's a dangerous combination. One of my questions for listeners who know this creative season, we like to get nerdy. We talk about Web3 concepts and different technologies that are impacting our culture.
Cool.
And I think of like the decentralized autonomous organization, right? Or the DAO, this very flat environment where different stakeholders are building together, and how that can be beautiful and very collaborative, but also sometimes lack leadership. And like, okay, if everyone's doing it, no one's doing it. We've all been in these environments, and I'm curious, when you're riffing on music and you don't have the guide leader.
Yeah.
How does leadership emerge in these impromptu environments?
Right, that's a great question. Usually it's handled afterwards, honestly. So everyone just dumps it all out, get it all out, get it all out on the table, get it all recorded, and everyone is making meaningful loops, right? So we're sharing a beats per minute. So it's like we're sharing a same time sync. And
I was going to say, there's still some like gel that's occurring because you're in the same space and on the same beat. So that makes sense. Continue.
Totally, yeah. And basically everyone, if you have an idea, you record it into your loop, that shows up, and everyone else in the room gets to control their own mix. So I can be like, hey, it's really distracting to hear what so-and-so is doing on guitar right now. I'm going to turn that down in my mix. It doesn't affect their experience. Then they can continue playing guitar all night. And it's recording. We're making loops and recording in Ableton, but then also it's everything via Dante is being mirrored and recorded in the studio from, say, like 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. linearly. Pro Tools is recording every single note that everyone plays the entire night, or says, or sings, or anything. And then that's why I say the choice, the leadership, I think comes out of pure inspiration when you sit down and you look at all the loops, the meaning these meaningful pieces that have been professionally recorded that came out of this. Like, I'm not a session musician, right? So I might play. A session musician might come in and be like, do 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 do. Oh, there you go. That's in C. You want one in B? Do 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 do. And then it's suddenly like it. 2 takes. A professional musician might be like, I'm out. I'll send you my invoice. but we can just keep looping. So we're looping and looping and looping. So I mean, I can get there. It just might take until take 43.
Wow.
But then you make the choice in the computer afterwards. You just say we want, and you can kind of, if you can imagine, mixing it by subtraction can be a way to do it. Like print the loops. They're all like sunk together in meaningful time, looped, and you drag them out, you duplicate them all the way out, and then you could subtract it. Like, hey, let's take everything away except for that weird ambient thing, and then have that come in. Oh, and then let's bring in the haunting backup vocal. It's coming together. Now bring in that accordion. Oh yeah, the accordion is haunting too. That's cool. We
are jamming with Jim. I promise you this. What a fun way to spend some time, my friend.
I'm lonely. That'd be
great. But what an interesting conversation. Maybe after the break we can talk a little bit about how technology is impacting music. I mean, you look at how if AI creates music, what does that make you think, right? So let's wait for after the break. We'll do this break thing. But when we come back, you are an artist that likes to do a lot of things all at once. And so my question, perhaps it's a paradox, what would you do for 24 hours straight?
Wow.
Yo! Welcome to the final commercial break without commercials. This has been a remarkable season full of innovative energy. These featured guests have been throwing knowledge grenades back and forth. 55 episodes in season 1 for You Don't Need This podcast. What a gift, what a blessing. I hope you've enjoyed it. To celebrate, this is the first time you get to see and hear about the collector hardback edition of You Don't Need This book. This is the final format of a relic that has updated resources, enhanced cover art, beautiful foil stamping, a commemorative poster full of reader photos from the last 3 years, and painted edges to bring your bookshelf to life. Take a peek over at youdon'tneedthispodcast.com, find the book page, and enjoy the feel of finished. And welcome back to You Don't Need This podcast. We are up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, hanging out with Jim, talking about music, the career. In a moment, let's hear how he's gone from behind the camera to pursuing his own musical journey in front of the camera. Before we get into that, Jim, I asked you a quick question before the break. What would you spend 24 hours doing straight?
Oh, man. I mean, I would love to just play music until you can't, and then let it continue looping in the background, and then paint. Start a painting up, like a physical painting, and then as soon as you kind of run out of time, or you need the paint to dry, run back into the music room, add a couple more layers in, run back out to the painting. Like, that would be a full dream.
Of course, I asked you about doing one thing, and all of a sudden you are making looped music, painting, running. It's like 5 things all at once.
Yeah, man. To do the same thing.
You've been in front of a mixing board your whole life, so of course you've got the idea of doing multiple things at once.
Yeah, man. Those little faders, they're going to pay.
What an artist, what a creative. I'm holding something that I'm really proud of, and I thought I would share it with the audience in kind of a special way. So Jim is the first human, besides my family, to actually see this. This is the hardback, so the collector hardback edition of You Don't Need This Book is a pretty interesting piece of art.
It's gorgeous.
After 3 years of sharing my heart through this narrative, this is the final format that is meant to be a relic. And so it's now kind of out into the world.
Oh my God.
This was author's proof, so 1 of 1.
Man, y'all absolutely have to take a look at this. If you're
feels
just listening,
right, doesn't it?
If you're just listening, you absolutely have to Google the bleep out of this or take a look at this. This book is phenomenal. I've never seen production like this.
That means a lot coming from you, man.
This is so creative and just clean. It feels good. It looks great. Like I cannot believe the quality of print. I mean, you've got your signature in here.
Yeah, we did. We basically said yes to every finish. So, along with UV spot printing, I've got a collector's poster inside.
Yeah.
One of my favorite books by Seth Godin is Free Prize inside. So it's like, how do you delight customers when this was not part of the promise they signed up for? So delivering these little nuggets, these Easter eggs along the way. You'll see some foil printing on the actual hardback itself. I did update the resources section in 2024. I felt compelled to do that and threw some updated content in about the author. Things have changed since this published 3 years ago. So Jim, thank you for sharing a milestone moment in my life.
Well, I am honored to be here to have hands-on and eyeballs on the book. It is a true piece of art. Like, this is the kind of book that if I just saw, I knew nothing about, I'd be like, well, okay, cool, that's in the cart. Moving on. Like, it's so cool. Nice. I'm stoked to dig into it.
Yeah. Well, you'll get your signed soft cover, and maybe once these are crafted in quantity, we'll be sure to get one shipped back up.
That's awesome.
This way. So one of the questions that we prompted beforehand, Ben Bott, of course, is in studio. I don't think we'll prompt it today, but this is my co-host, and so AI is a part of our lives. And when you think about the way that the narrative around AI and music, it feels like it's gotten a bad rap. And so technology's been in music since the beginning. I feel like. I mean.
Pun intended.
Yeah, but when it starts making its own, what comes to mind? I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but what comes to mind when you think about these things?
Right. No, I appreciate that question. Like I, as someone who just cherishes creativity, I mean, I guess until now, created by humans, so it's a totally new landscape there. It's easy to, I think, dive headfirst into how damaging and scary it is to just have the AI be thinking for us or something. But I'm not really scared of that. I'm actually way more excited to see what I can do with it, like almost as a partner, as a creative partner.
Right.
The AI.
Taking care of tasks while the ingenuity, the creativity of humanity continues to lead.
I also exactly. And I also think I don't want to fearmonger about that ever. And I just think it would be a waste of time. And I do. I'm sure there's dangers. Like, I'm not trying to watch this in 5 years from now. And when I'm fighting Terminators with a laser gun, like I'm sure like I'll change my tune. But for now, man,
no pun.
Pun not intended. Dang it.
Look at continue though. I want you to finish that thought and then I'll show you something.
Yeah. The end I was just going to say is that I'm stoked to see what it does. I'm stoked to see what it creates. And I don't think that it will ever be truly it can't have your perspective. It can't have my perspective. It is not going to ever be the collection of all of your experiences you've had since birth. So therefore, you still will have a unique offering as a human, and I just don't think that anything could calculate what could be different. And humans are going to be, you learn something from an AI, you as a human would be creatively affected by that and maybe come up with something new. I just think we're going to incorporate everything that AI does into our own creativity and have that be an evolution of it.
I love that, Jim.
Look at this.
Read the bottom line of the copyright page.
100% human.
Celebrating technology, but also recognizing that humanity's got something to share as well.
This book is 100% human. That is...
Even when BenBot's online, it never indexed or was influenced by the manuscript itself. This came out before
Good job.
AI learned to speak human, so it's kind of fun to celebrate that. And I think that's an opportunity outside of only music, right? With writing, with photography, video, all this like multimodality of being able to celebrate things that were prompted in a way that is using technology, while also recognizing that the beauty of our humanity is shared in creative ways.
Team human.
Team human. Nice. Well, we are on that shared team, so cheers to that. Speaking of creativity, let's shift gears one more time. Before we start closing things down, we have to talk about your journey into being a musician, into talent development, into going from behind the mixing board, behind the cameras, and pursuing something in front of that camera.
Yeah.
Jam.
Oh, man. Well, it was time to go to college, and I had talked with my dad, who we were talking about earlier, my dad, Ted, who's a bass player, amazing. We work in tandem all the time together. We're basically the same person. You know, we get along really well, and we're super blessed for that. So, I just went down the rabbit hole there. Dang it.
But that's a beautiful thing, man.
It is.
I mean, seeing you two even work together here, setting up our impromptu idea in a moment's notice. And it was, look around, this is prograde.com continue though. I'll let you.
Fun. It's
I know.
So fun.
What a neat influence. Continue.
Yeah, no worries. So what was, I guess I'd say, so it was high school. It was time to decide what to go to college for. And I was talking with my dad about it. And I was like, well, I would like to go for songwriting or, playing guitar. And he was like, why don't you go for audio recording? Then you might have a skill that might, and I was like, yeah, I could record my own band.
There we go.
It makes me a way more valuable bandmate. And then the joke was on me. Like 20 years later, I was doing audio recording for other people's projects and professionally, and working on a lot of different films and doing my own creative stuff, kind of like in the closet, hiding out. Well,
there's a fear in shipping your own art. You put yourself on the hook.
Oh yeah. Terrifying. It is and 100% like that. It is absolutely terrifying to put out your own art, and it's kind of. I mean, I guess I feel a little bit selfish that I haven't done it beforehand because it's just meant to be shared. Like everybody has a voice, everyone has an original thing to share, and I cherish that. Like that should be. If you hold it back, like it's kind of stingy. It's like, come on, man.
It's
like
totally selfish. I mean, This is a little bit polarizing, but Seth Godin suggests that it's not art until it ships.
Interesting.
Until it connects.
Interesting.
And so getting over that fear and being more generous with the way that you deliver it, it's not going to be perfect every time, but getting out something that you can be proud of and then evolving it will kind of allow you to shift and pivot to find that product market fit.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing.
Continue.
I'm finally now, I'm 43, I'm like, finally like, and I mean, I guess I'm also like carry a little bit of embarrassment just being like a white dude who's been very privileged. Like really, like honestly, like I've just been, like I said, I've had a lot of support from my dad. Like I have a stepdad, my stepdad and my dad and I play music together. Like it's just a really tight, so I have a lot of support, and I've always had a lot of support. And it still took me 43 years to be like, all right, I'm going to start releasing my own music now. And so we've been, working on tons of tracks. Like we've built this symphony machine to just grind out tons of music and just get it out. And we're practicing at the same time. You're practicing being fully self-expressed. You're practicing your this technical achievement to play together. You're connecting with other humans. Just like such amazing synergy. Everything we make, anything you make with another person, it never existed before, and now it exists. Like that's so powerful. That's like the definition of creativity. Like. So that's what I'd like to spend the rest of my days doing.
Nice, dude. Well, I'm excited to follow this journey. The show notes are going to be loaded with goodies, including, I hope there's a way that people can find some of these daily drops.
Oh man, yeah, I'll get that sort of going.
Either way.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's singles in the works, maybe an album coming together. Like there's more art that's being shipped script coming soon.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So are you going to go by your name? Is there a band name? Is there like a pseudo character? What are you thinking?
No, that's a great question because I always thought it was going to be a band. Like I thought because for a long time we went by the name Mercury Trigger, and then I felt like maybe Trigger isn't really necessarily what I want to represent. And then we called ourselves Mercury Symphony because we were creating music at the same time in this way that I could only describe it as because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. And
so where's Mercury? Are you thinking like cosmos, or are you thinking like temperature or the mineral? What's Mercury mean to you?
I think it's like the go switch. It's like almost like a Mercury switch in a device where that little piece of metal heats up enough to move and complete the circuit and then start, get things going. That was the original thought, but I think as an artist, that might turn into an album. I think, or an album title or some song titles. I'll probably just go as it kind of like as no name. Like if someone says, "Hey, what's the music you do?" I'm like, "Well, there's no name to it. It's just my music, Jim Morgan."
Yeah, right. You're in the copyright page.
100% human, Jim Morgan.
So let's rewind before we close things down.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim as an 18-year-old, as a 25-year-old, just kind of starting out, what would you have told yourself when you think about your, journey through the music industry and now as an artist and all the things that you've learned? What might you share with a different generation?
Holy shit, that's an excellent question.
Come on, hold on.
Ing.
I'm a little late on that.
No, it was good. Beep. Ing. That was like, yeah. That's.
I know it's a big question, and
no, it's good. I got it. I got you.
Jim.
So I would, if I went back in time and met my 18-year-old self, or even 23-year-old self, 25-year-old self, I would 100% just insist emphatically that all of your creative ideas, kids have great creative ideas. Like they're actually, sometimes kids say just prolific, profound things. And I'm not just saying like children, I'm saying also in high school, like I felt like I was in a petri dish of like, you're playing little kid stuff. I had an idea when I was a kid, but it was like, oh, well, you were a kid, so it doesn't really count. When you're an adult, you just have to start over. So I guess I would go back and if I could say anything, I would say take all of your creative ideas are completely valid. They could all be amazing. They could be the next, album or movie series or novel. And I would say, don't ever stop. Just lean into it. Go with it fearlessly if you can. And even though if you're a winding stream, like you'll eventually make it to the ocean. Like you'll join up with everybody. And just don't quit because you're only here for a little while. We're only here for a little while. We could go at any time, and it's not in a fear mongering way. It's more like, okay, it's time to go. It's time to kick ass. It's time to
I've lived my lives and I can be done here.
Exactly. Right. And I want this creativity to be a part of it every day. Let's go. It's time to go. We're here on the planet now. Let's go.
Dang it, Jim. I usually like to close things down with a mic drop moment, and you just did all that. I mean, we should have clearly cut and been done with this episode. And now I'm going to make it awkward, and this mic drop moment's going to be totally forced.
No, I tried to beat you to it so you wouldn't drop the mic because they're expensive. I'm just goofing.
You said that before. This is good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, for the generosity of setting up such a beautiful set for us to enjoy some time together.
Thank you.
This is going to be a special In the Wild episode of You Don't Need This podcast. We've been talking about music. We've been talking about creativity. We've been talking about leadership in a wild environment. Even a little thought of, continuing to build and staying persistent, knowing that can be a wild card. All right, let's close things down, my friend. This has been such a treat. As we do, a good way for people to kind of follow your journey might be a quick soundbite here, but then I know you just dropped the mic, but pick it back up and try again. How about that?
Well, thank you for having me. And thank you, Ben, so much. Seriously, this has been so freaking cool, man. It was unexpectedly awesome. Best thing. I'm going to be talking about this for the rest of the year, at least. I'm going to be like, did you hear my podcast? Sorry, I was fangirling there. Let's say, Yeah, I guess. Oh my God, ADHD AF. Wait. We have a song that we sing. It's like ADHD. What ADHD? We run around the studio just chanting this because we all got it, man. We can't even spell ADHD. Look at me.
Oh my goodness. Do you need me to reset the question?
Yes.
Okay. So as we close down, and we don't edit, so you're gonna get
Perfect.
that.
Oh, no!
You're gonna get that in the mix, of
My
course.
sincerest apologies.
Yeah, but it was worth it. This has been so much fun. Close us down, though, man.
Okay.
How can people follow your journey as an artist?
Yeah.
And then maybe that lasting thought for our listeners.
I'm going jimmorganartist.com. Right now we have mercurysymphony.com. But that's kind of transitional. But jimmorgan.com, you can check me out on Jim Morgan on Instagram, Jim Morgan on Facebook. If you Google me, I come up. You'll see my IMDb page, just like my film work and stuff, as a location sound engineer as well as a studio musician. And yeah. Oh, I don't. Did we make it home? Probably not. Went over a jump, landed the car in the garage.
I promise we're trying to close things down
I'm trying. But it's like we're in a DeLorean, and we're like.
What's your mantra when you wake up? What's your thought? What's your lasting thought that you'd like to leave with listeners?
Okay. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this. Live as a painting of wild beauty, singing the unspoken, and charging each moment as inextinguishable light.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of You Don't Need This Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this weekly dose of innovative energy. Thanks to all who make this show possible. Be sure to smash that subscribe button, and you know I'd love to learn more about what you're building. Hit me up over at benmcdougal.com, and until next time, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Keep building. Wait! There's more!
This is Benmont. I have a transmission from the future. Season 2 of You Don't Need This Podcast is now being recorded in the studio. Enjoy past episodes and get ready for next.